Welcome back to the Bible unfolding before our eyes right now. Um, so battles. We all know there was battles. Like I say, there was a battle in Garden of Eden. There's that battle of whose God was better. Remember, Jesus was tempted in the desert and by the devil and said, basically, hey, dude, you come follow me. I'll give you everything. I'll give you riches beyond whatever. And Jesus went all the way through the whole setup, and he made it. When he got baptized, God said, "This is my son, who I am well pleased," right? He's happy. My son. Did you hear that? My son. That's why Joseph was told by the angel, take her. Mary, of course, we all know that the angel came to her and said, you're going to be with a child, and we know that story too, right? So God wanted God's pureness. Got that? Everything else, like I said, I have told everybody many years, by the year 2000, everybody will be of some mixed race. There's not going to be nothing pure out here, right? I personally was married to a Hispanic woman, right, actually, and me and her had a child. So if I say that I'm white, but then everybody says, well, that you probably came from European or stuff. There's supposedly red in my hair and beard, and I think I came from Scotland, but who cares? So why would he want? Why would he say, this is my son, that I'm well pleased? You have to read the verse yourself. I don't quote Bible. I know the stories of the Bible. I put two and two together and think, wow, it really does work. And you always have to refer the old with the new. So now we have Jesus, pure. That's the most important part of that story. I don't know if anybody gets it, but he's an unblemished lamb. Remember the Passover, the hyssop branch around the door, all that type of stuff. So when Jesus would put on the cross, he all the way back to the very beginning. When he died for us on that cross, he died for that one sin that Eve made in the very beginning. You're going to have to say, Jesus is the one and only. So what happened, and like I say, we'll jump all over the place, and all the stories you already know. But if you change and their order and connect them to another story, and it's kind of like, wow, that's pretty cool. So who do we make sacrifices to back in those days? They were saying that they were sacrificing for, a good crop this year. So here's a couple of turtle doves. They're unblemished. That's why Jesus knocked over all the stuff in all the money marketers in the little area in front of the temple. It's like, hey, I don't have to raise this dove, chicken, goat, whatever. I'll just buy one on my way to the church, man. Dude, I am perfect. No. This is something you have to get. A perfect one is not born every single time, right? It's like, this is awesome. He's trying to rid the synagogue, the temple, of money dealings, because it's not, you can make an offering to the church, and that is fine. There is no percentage of any kind whatsoever. If I have $1 and I put the dollar in, that's what God said. You did good. Thank you. Okay. And so Jesus knocked over all this stuff, and he doesn't want people to sacrifice anymore. Why? Who did I say the Mayans were sacrificing to? And what were they sacrificing? The sacrifice was always the way, and the way it always had to be. Well, thank goodness they got rid of that. At least what we're not looking at in the news if you have your eyes closed. So what about the trial of Jesus? And here's Jesus, and he goes, what is it? Pontius Pilate goes, is that you? And, I am. Do you know what Cain said to God? Remember that story, right? When Cain killed Abel? And the reason being is because, remember, Abel was actually human, because that was Adam's son. Okay. Anyhow, so Abel, I'm going to get these all mixed up. Abel's out in the field, and he's tending his sheep, whatever, and he decides he's going to go see God and, give him an offering. Here is a yearling, and a yearling is, the first year. And Cain comes along and gives this, I'm just going to make this up because I don't know what he gave, but he gave of the fruits of his labor, okay? And God said to Abel, dude, you did great. And then he looked at Cain and said, dude, a little bit better, come on. Your offerings are to me, the Lord thy God. And you could have brought me a little bit better arrangement, I guess. I don't know. So, of course, we all know that Cain goes in and says, hey, Abel, come on with me. And somehow he kills him. Or gets rid of him. Oh, I got gigged because I said something else on the last video. It's ineligible. Anyhow, it's still up. So what did Cain do to Abel? I'm just going to assume. I don't know. Well, let's just say he hit him in the head with a rock. Killed him instantly. The first unaliving of a human being. Human being. Oh, this one's too long. I'll talk to you later.